Hey all, Heretic here. In Hearthstone patch 27.2, the Season 5 patch notes are out. They're ready to go. We've got all the good information. There are a lot of crazy, fun changes. There is a whole lot to unpack, folks. So let's just jump in and start digging through all the good meaty stuff. First, let's start with Anomalies. Anomalies are new. They just coming out. This new system is going to be at the beginning of every game. Before you pick a hero, when you know all the tribes, you're going to see what anomaly it is. Everybody in the lobby will have the same anomaly, and they will affect the gameplay pretty dramatically. So you really need to make sure, check the anomaly first, decide which hero can help you get there, and then look at the tribes and think about, okay, which ones are going to work with my heroes and this anomaly. There's just a lot of new ways now we're going to be playing this game. Now, we're not going to spend a lot of time over them. We don't have the art assets for them yet, so we're just going to go over what each anomaly does that we have so far, and these are the ones going to be there at launch. Prudence of Amethyst, unspent gold carries over to your next turn. If you saved at least 5, gain 1 extra. So a lot of weird potential here. Maybe the shop is horrible. I'm not sure of the scenarios where you're going to want to use this. This is going to take some time to think about. There are definitely going to be moments where you feel super strong and maybe you tier and you still have extra gold and you're like, hey, I'm just gonna let it float and not waste anything with rolling because I'm fighting the dead guy. Did someone quit and left the game and now I'm fighting them and they sold all their minions, so now I'm just gonna let that gold ride. There are gonna be scenarios where it feels pretty good, especially where this gold adds up and will carry over. So there's a lot of potential here. This will be very interesting to see. Anti-gravity stadium, minions in the tavern have their health and attack swapped. Pretty good. Very much gonna have to rethink every minion at every moment of that game. This is gonna be completely different from what we're used to. Might of Khaz'goroth. At the end of your turn, set your left and rightmost minions attack to the higher of the two. So a good way to buff weak minions in one aspect and get them stronger in the other one. Fortitude of Khaz'goroth. At the end of your turn, set your left and rightmost minions health to the higher of the two. Same idea as the attack one, except this now you're buffing your health. Money match, start at 10 gold. Pretty simple one there. Denathrius Anima reserves, all heroes are sire. So if you miss quests, here you go. You're going to get lots of quests. Uncompensated upset, start at 1 gold. Minions cost 1, but sell for 0. And upgrading your cavern costs 2 less. This is going to be wacky. We're going to have to rethink the entire game on this one also when we see it, because it is a totally new way to play the game. Secrets of Norgannon, Tavern Tier 7 exists. Start with 10 extra armor. Give you that time to actually get to the Tier 7 minions, a little extra armor to help you. Transient Treasures, at the start of your turn, choose from 2 new quest rewards. Every turn, starting on turn 1, quest rewards, random, good fun. This will be very interesting. Nguyen's Shifting Discs, all heroes are Master Nguyen. Fun one, good random, everyone's random, a very random game, but should be still a lot of fun. Bring in the buddies. Buddies are in the tavern. I'm assuming with this one, that means that the buddies are available to be bought in the tavern. That will be a very fun game. I look forward to that one, actually, especially if they're all there. Is it just by tribe? All the neutral ones are there? This will be very weird. Oops all. This anomaly has a version for beast, pirates, dragons, elementals, mechs, murlocs, naga, quillbore, undead, and demons. What it means is that only the minion type and neutrals are in the tavern for that game. When this anomaly is active, the number of each minion in the pool is increased to fill out the tavern 5 times the number of each minion of the selected type and 2 times the number of neutral minions. Oops All Pirates also has 1 extra adjustment. Captain Hogger is added to the minion pool. So that means APM for days in that lobby. You have to be super careful when this anomaly is drawn. Check the hero you're using, make sure they have extra synergies with the tribe you're going to be picking. A fair reward, instead of a minion, triple rewards discover a tier 1 Dark Moon prize upgrades in 3 turns. So just like the Dark Moon prizes, every 4 turns, this will upgrade, making it better and better and better. Finicky Hourglass, start at Tavern Tier 2. Simple, fun, different way to play the game. Packed Stands, the tavern always has 7 minions. So you're always going to have a nice full shop to pick what you want. Double header, the first time you buy a minion each turn, get an extra copy of it. Hold on, extra copy. you are going to be able to set up triples like nuts with this. Be super careful of that first minion you buy with this. Echoes of Argus. Your battle cries and death rattles trigger an extra time. Well, right off the bat, you don't need Titus or Bran up front. Definitely you can pick them up later for extra value, but super good cards. False Idols. You only need 2 copies of a minion to make it golden. Instead of a triple reward, get a gold coin. Interesting. So our triples aren't going to give us extra tempo. They're going to give us a tiny bit of economy in whatever that triple is. So worthless triples are even more worthless. Don't triple a card that doesn't give you some extra value unless you really want 1 gold. Grapnel of the Titan. The first minion you buy each turn is free. Just be aware every turn, make sure you buy the right minion. And finally, the Golden Arena. All minions are golden, but you do not get triple rewards. Dev comment, this includes cards that are discovered or generated by any other means. I don't even know what to say about that one. That is going to be nuts. Now, they're going to be adding anomalies each week to the pool. These are the ones throughout the patch 27.2 that will be added. Big League, only Tavern tier 3, 4, and 5, and 6 exist. So no tier 1 or 2. I'm assuming we're starting at 3. Little League, only Tavern tier 1, 2, 3, and 4 exist. So you can't go past tier 4. That game is going to get really weird. Everything's on fire. At the start of the game, take 30 damage. Whenever another hero dies, regain 5 health. Dev comment, this is fine. This says, buy tempo. All the tempo you can. You want to kill people. They're going to die fast, so make sure it's not you. Wisdom of Ulduar. At the end of every 3 turns, set your rightmost minion stats to 15/15. That can be a great buff or a horrible mistake if you're not paying enough attention. Make sure you check on that one. Overseer's Orb. After you upgrade the tavern, refresh it with minions of your most common type. Very good way to get minions you need. Definitely favors to say early, oh, I kind of want to play this, so I'm going to do that, but you also don't want to paint yourself into a corner. I kind of like this one. This would be some interesting builds for this. Perfected Alchemy. Start with a Goldenizer that makes a friendly minion golden. So I'm assuming this is a spell card that you just cast on one of your creatures to make it golden. Basically, your Reno, everybody's Reno, and if you're Reno, you get 2, essentially. That's pretty awesome. Blood of Sargeras. At the start of your turn, set your hero's health to 12. So that means as long as you take less than 12 damage, you're happy. The moment you take 12 or more, and now assuming you get to keep your armor, so a high armor hero will definitely be valuable in these lobbies. Mimiron's Clockwork Stadium. You cannot upgrade the tavern with gold. It upgrades itself every 2 turns. I like this one. It's just going to be, don't worry, there's no curves. It's going to happen. When it happens, get tempo. Path of the Truth Seeker. After you refresh 5 times, find the golden monkey. This is at least the card. Now permanent, just has an effect. I like this one. This is pretty cool. New hero, for those who might not have seen it, we have Stormlord Thorin. Choose your champion. Passive, at the start of the game, discover a tier 7 minion to get after you spend 65 gold. Pretty easy hero power. Spend some gold, get a really good minion. Will be interesting to see how it plays out. There are a lot of really cool tier 7 minions, so this could be super powerful, this hero. Cariel Roame is getting a nerf. Goes from give 3 friendly minions +1/+1 after you upgrade the tavern, choose an improvement, to give 2 friendly minions +1/+1 after you upgrade the tavern, choose an improvement. Big nerf to Cariel. It'll be interesting to see how much armor she gains after this. Kurtrus Ashfallen got a massive buff. I thought he was fine, but apparently they said, we want him to win all the games. Their old hero power was passive once per turn. After you buy 4 minions, discover a plain copy of one of them. Is now once per turn after you buy 3 minions, discover a plain copy of one of them. Jesus, that is awesome. I loved playing Kurtrus before. I can't wait to play it now. Oozling Gladiator, a tier 2, 1 attack, 2 health, battle cry, get 2 slimy shields that give +1/+1 in taunt. I'm assuming these are spells. A very good card for that effect. The stat line's not great, but I mean, you could just use them on it if you wanted to. So this is definitely a good card, and since it's tier 2, we'll be able to find a lot of taunts with this. Iron Groundkeeper, tier 3, 5 attack, 6 health, battle cry, give a minion taunt. If it already has taunt, remove it. This is a good utility card. Removing taunt from key minions you might not want to have taunt anymore. Now you're all set. Have you got a giant Foe Reaper that you gave Divine Shield, but it also gets taunt? Now hit it with the Iron Groundskeeper and you don't care, it no longer has taunt. Living Constellation, tier 3, 4 attack, 2 health, Battlecry, give a minion +1/+1 for each type you control. This is basically because they're removing Light Fang. It gives your menagerie boards a way to buff. I don't mind this. You get a brand out there. It gets extra value while you're cycling. So this can be a pretty neat card. It has good potential. Fairy Tale Cariel, a 2/4 Battlecry. If you lost your last combat, give your minions +2/+1. I don't like this card that much. Basically, it's to help stabilize you if you're getting murdered. But I hate the idea of you're losing. Here, try to get a little less losing and then try to find a card to win with. It's not bad. It's probably a good change, but it just feels wrong. Free Flying Feathermane, a 5 attack, 5 health beast. After a friendly beast dies, summon this from your hand for this combat only. Think Murlocs, where you're summoning cards in the battlefield. Beasts have lots of things that buff them when they get summoned, so this is a pretty neat card. Could have some interesting play, and it's a 5/5 at tier 3. It's not a bad stat line, so we'll see how it goes. Niazawa, tier 6 beast, 7 attack, 6 health. Whenever this attacks, deal damage equal to its attack to another random minion. It's a cleave, but it's a random cleave. It's going to hit its primary target, then one random other minion of your opponent is going to take that damage. This card could be very interesting. Depends how much buffing we can get going on with it to make it have a little more stats than that, but 7's just enough to do some damage. The Gladiator, tier 3 Naga, 1 attack, 1 health, divine shield. Whenever you cast a spell, gain +1 attack. Pretty cool card. In the early game, it's going to take a minute or two to ramp up, but in the late game, I'm not sure how much you're actually going to want this because you obviously are going to need more than 1 health, even with divine shield. Still could be a good card. No reserved judgment on it until I see it in play. Daggerspine Thrasher, tier 3 Naga, 3 attack, 5 health. Whenever you cast a spell, gain Divine Shield, Wind Fury, or Venomous until next turn. Yes, it goes away at the end of the turn, but with those 3 effects kicking on, and you're probably going to be cycling, either Blood Gems or Spellcraft, this could be a very good card, especially with Venom and Divine Shield. It just could be nasty. Briarback Bookie, tier 2 Quilboar, 3/4 stats. If you have any unspent gold at the end of your turn, get 2 Blood Gems. You have a couple extra gold, you could use Blood Gems every turn. Not a bad way to generate them. Decent stats for tier 2. We'll see how it plays. Mercules, 5 attack, 2 health. Whenever this kills a minion, give a minion in your hand +2/+2. So you're hand buffing like Murlocs like to do. And now maybe you give this thing a ton of health on the rightmost portion of your board early in the game, and you get to kill 3 or 4 minions and you buff the hell out of something in your hand. This one definitely has potential, at least in the early and mid game. Murky, the tier 6 Murloc, 6 attack, 5 health, Battlecry, give a friendly minion +1/+1, improved for each Battlecry minion you played this game. Great Prince Gallywix players, you have a cheer. You just got more value for cycling cards. This thing is going to be a monster. It'll never stay on your board. You're just cycling it through, but it's a Battlecry. So as you cycle these cards through, it's counting itself after a while. So this is kind of damn good. Time Saver, tier 3 Dragon, 3 attack, 5 health. If you have any unspent gold at the end of your turn, this sells for 2 more. I don't like this card. The 3/5 stat line, I don't mind. Spend gold so you can sell this for 2 more gold. There are definitely ways you can be smart and make this work, but I'm not a huge fan of this. It doesn't look exciting. Maybe time will prove me wrong, but this kind of seems subpar. Hunter of Gatherers, tier 5 Dragon, 3 attack, 6 health. After this gains attack, give your minions +1 health. Well, it's dragons. You're going to be getting Caligoses. You're going to be getting ways to buff your board, and this thing is going to stuck all your health through the roof. You just need to keep cycling cards like dragons do to buff them with a Caligos, and you win and win and win. Once again, so far, at least from what I've seen so far, you're looking primarily for Caligoses, which is what dragons have always done. The problem with that being it's at tier 6, but let's wait and see. There's probably some other ways we can get away with buffing them. Warp Wing, a tier 6 dragon, 12 attack, 4 health, immune while attacking. Pretty simple, not very exciting. It's a 12/4 and attack. It doesn't take damage. I mean, it's better than some tier 6s, but that doesn't mean I want to buy this. I'd much rather hit a Caligos than this any single time. That doesn't mean there isn't a trick for it, but right now, at a glance, I can live without the Butterfly Dragon. Bejeweled Duelist, tier 2 Elemental, 3 attack, 4 health, taunt. Whenever you refresh, gain +1 health. Not bad. Late in the game, Elementals do get to recycle a lot. But late in the game, you probably don't want to have this go on your board for +1 health every time you hit refresh, even if it's a free refresh. It's kind of subpar for what elementals are doing, but in the early game, it's still a 3/4, so it still works. A Sparkling, tier 3 elemental, 5 attack, 2 health, battle cry, give all other elementals +1/+1. Simple, effective, a lot of offense, not much defense, but it's buffing your board. Nothing wrong with it. Emergent Flame, tier 4 elemental, 5 attack, 3 health, battle cry, give an elemental +1/+1. Improved by each refresh this turn. Now this one has some real potential for later in the game. If you're sitting there and you're refreshing through any means that you usually have with elementals for free, and you're skipping ahead a lot, this thing can give you a lot of value. Basically, this is the one you want to play last for everything you can get. Carbonic Copy, tier 5 elemental. This one's fun. 5 attack, 6 health, start of combat, summon a copy of this. So essentially, this is the Evil Twin quest reward for elementals, which Evil Twin works a lot. Elementals are great at making one giant minion, but now you get 2 of them. So you can jump all your stats into this one place and then make 2 gigantic monsters while you're buffing. Invent-O-Matic, tier 2 mech, 2 attack, 3 health. Whenever you magnetize a minion, give it +1/+1. Not really exciting. Tier 3, I'm not happy to see this, but it's not bad. It's just nothing I'm excited for at all. Adaptable Barricade, 12 attack, 1 health. Whenever this is attacked, it shifts its stats to survive with 1 health if possible. Now the dev comments is, this respects venomous and poison. If it's going to take damage from a minion with one of those effects, it will not shift its stats. So basically, you can buff this thing all you want. It's going to move the stats where it needs to survive. So the more attack, the better, because it's going to mutate to what you need. This one looks pretty cool. I'll wait to see how it plays out, but it seems very good. Relentless Sentry, tier 3 undead, 5 attack, 1 health, avenge 4, gain taunt and reborn. Interesting card, has potential. Put it in back, let 4 of your minions die. It certainly has some things it can do that sound fun. I don't know if it's going to actually work, but Sore Loser, tier 3 undead, 1 attack, 4 health. Your undead have an extra attack equal to your tier. So as soon as you buy it, it's a tier 3 minion. Maybe you tripled into it, so you're only tier 2, but it's still going to be a 3/4. It's going to keep getting better. It's definitely a mid-game card. You don't need this late game, but in the early to mid-game, you're happy to have this on your board, buffing your undead away. Champion of the Primus, tier 5 undead, 1 attack, 8 health, avenge 2. Your undead have +1 attack for the rest of the game wherever they are. So Nubarak has to die. With the Champion of the Primus, you just need your guys to die and this to survive. So sit it in the back, let your board wipe itself out, attack forever. I like this a whole lot. I already enjoy playing undead. This undead is going to have attack for days. That, no doubt about that. Surf in Turf, tier 1 Naga Beast, 1 attack, 1 health, spellcraft, give a minion death rattle, summon a 2/2 crab until next turn. That is cool. It's a little 1/1. It pops out a 2/2. I like this. It's not overpowered. It's a good tier 1 card. Seaborn Summoner, a 2/2 Naga Elemental, 2 attack, 4 health, spellcraft, choose a minion, add a minion of its type to the tavern. It's a 2/4 body. The spellcraft seems decent to at least sign semi-targeted of what you want. I don't hate this card. I don't love it, but at tier 2, I'm pretty comfortable with that stat line and what it does. I feel like that's actually surprisingly balanced for what they're doing. Withered Spearhead, tier 3 undead Quillboar, 2 attack, 2 health, reborn, death rattle, get a blood gem. This I like. It's one of these cards that just fits its job perfectly. It doesn't have a lot of stats, but its job really is to give you extra stats in the form of blood gems for targeted stuff. If you're playing undead, now you've got a unit that's going to give you a blood gem to help bring up that baseline health twice every combat, in addition to gaining all those benefits from that aura attack bonus. I like this card a whole lot. Dreadbeard, the tier 3 demon pirate, 4 attack, 4 health. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to your hero and get a coin. Not sure how I feel about this card. I mean, it's a tier 3 4/4. Stats aren't horrible. I like the economy. I don't like doing damage to myself, especially when, I don't know, one of these anomalies does 30 damage to everyone at the start of the game. I mean, it's just one of those high risk, high rewards. Obviously, if you get a rewinder, there's no risk, go nuts. But let's play it out and see. It sounds questionable to me, but maybe in the end, it'll be one of the most powerful cards, and I'm just not thinking of it in the right way. Peckish Felldrake, a tier 4 demon dragon, 0 attack, 1 health, battle cry, consume 3 minions in the tavern to gain their stats. So hey, you're buffing the shop, you're all set, you're good to go. Throw this thing down, you're a monster. Triple this thing, yeah, it gets ridiculous because the gold one especially consumes 6 minions in the tavern to gain their stats. If you've buffed it at all, this thing could be ridiculously big depending how you get this going every turn. I like this one a lot. This one is going to be disgusting with certain heroes that, I don't know, can trigger a battle cry every turn. This will be a lot of fun and frustrating some games. And oh yeah, speaking of powerful, Mannoroth, tier 5 undead demon, 1 attack, 10 health, venomous. After this kills a minion and survives, gain its maximum stats once per combat. Ow, it's undead. You can reborn it. It's gonna gain stats. It's gonna have, no, this is ugly, bad. Mechanized Gift Horse, tier 5, mech beast, 4 attack, 4 health, death rattle, summon 2 mech horses with death rattle, summon 1/1 mecha ponies. You've got a mechanized gift horse that summons mechanized horses that summonizes mecha ponies. If you're confused, that's okay. There's a lot to unpack there. Transmuted Bramble Witch, tier 5 elemental quillbore, 4 attack, 4 health. When this attacks, set the defender's stats to 3/3 once per combat. Now this is nuts. You have a giant a taunt in your way, throw this thing at it. No, you don't. You have a 3/3 in the way. This is going to abuse some boards. This will be very interesting to see how this card plays out. Relentless Murglul, tier 6 undead murloc, 5 attack, 4 health, venomous, avenge 4, gain, reborn. Ooh, there is a lot of potential with this. First of all, it can already have reborn, because you can just use undead to get it there. And this will be very interesting to see how this card plays out. Anytime you have Venom and you can have Reborn, that's a nasty combination. And this one's got it built in potentially. So I want to see how this works. So next we're going to have tier 7 minions. Tier 7 minions will only be when the Secrets of Norgannon anomaly is in play, or if somebody is using Thorim. Otherwise, there should be no other ways to sneak them out. Argent Braggart, tier 7. All tier 7, don't need to say that anymore. 1 attack, 1 health, battle cry, set this minion's attack and health to the highest in the battlefield. So the best of your minions, this thing is going to copy it. It's not a bad deal at all if you have any decent minions. If you have nothing decent, then yeah, probably not what you want to do, but still, some potential there. King Varian, 9 attack, 9 health. When you sell this, discover 2 tier 6 minions. Not a bad thing at all. Not insane, but it's going to give you 2 tier 6 discoveries. So if you need it, it's certainly going to be better than a 9/9 minion. So there you go. And then there's the other direction we can go with this. Moria Bronzebeard, 3 attack, 9 health. Your battle cries and death rattles trigger twice. Bran, Titus, 1 minion. You got it. Nasty. This is a tier 7 minion. Papa Bear, tier 7 beast, 12 attack, 12 health, death rattle, summon 3 mama bears. Yes, summon 3. Let's not even talk about if you give it reborn or any other shenanigans you might get up to with banana slammers or any other beast things that may or may not exist. Nasty. Champion of Sargeras, 10 attack, 10 health. Minions in the tavern have +10/+10. The demon, very interesting. Here is a super fun one, folks. This one, if you're playing undead, you are loving. Reoccurring Nightmare, undead, 5 attack, 5 health, death rattle. Give a friendly undead death rattle. Summon a reoccurring nightmare. So if you have tokens, which you're undead, you've been buffing the hell out of their attack, which this is undead. This thing is going to keep coming back in the combat, bouncing all over the place. And the death rattle that gives another minion it. Well, do you remember leapfrogs? Because this kind of looks like an undead leapfrog to me at tier 7, folks. This could be disgusting. You get double death rattles, you get a Titus out there, you can have reoccurring nightmares flashing all over the board. They're only 5/5s, but once again, if you've buffed your attack at all like you usually do with undead, it's probably going to be kicking out, 65s. That's all. Nothing bad. Everyone will be summoning 7 of them. It's not going to be bad at all. It'll be fine. Fine. Next up, we have Captain Sanders, a pirate. 7 attack, 7 health. Battle cry, make a friendly minion golden. You don't need to know anymore right there. Make a minion golden. You play that, then you get rid of it because there's no reason to triple him because it just does the same thing. So get your Sanders, make whatever you want gold, have fun. The Oracle Morgul, a Murloc, 1 attack, 10 health, poison. When this attacks and kills a minion, give its stats to a minion in your hand. You want to talk about hand buffing at the next level? This is hand buffing at the next level with some really big shenanigans possible. This one will be an interesting, fun play. You're going to cry when it kills one of your guys, but when you get to mess up your opponent's massive 300 taunt and buff something in your hand that you can summon out, you're going to be very happy with this. Granite Guardians, an elemental, 1 attack, 17 health, taunt. Whenever this is attacked, reduce the attacker's health to 1. This is going to be very interesting. You're just going to have it sit back and it's going to basically get to kill anything without Divine Shield that runs at it. You are going to kill it no matter what. So very useful, not crazy. We haven't seen the other pieces of the elemental board, but this could be a lot of fun to be messing with your opponent with. Sea Witch Zajira, tier 7 Naga, 4 attack, 5 health, spellcraft, choose a minion in the tavern to get a copy of. So this one doesn't look powerful, but when you think about it, you're getting a copy of it. You're not getting the one in the tavern. That means you can still buy the one in the tavern. That means everything is essentially a pair. And if you already have one, that means it's a triple with this card. This is going to be very good. I look forward to seeing this. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it'll come too late and it won't matter. But if you could somehow get this thing even remotely earlier, this will be very effective at getting you triples and getting the cards you need in the right form. Obsidian Ravager, Dragon, 4 attack, 4 health. Whenever this attacks, deal damage equal to its attack to the target and an adjacent minion. So essentially it's going to be a cleave. It could go right, it could go left. You don't know, but pretty handy. Dragons haven't had a cleave in a while. They had one and it was very impressive because it only did 3 or 6 damage. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. It's tier 7, still could be good. I think it's going to come a little late to be super impressive, but who knows? Next up, we have the Boom Mobile. It's a mech, 12/12, magnetic, reborn, divine shield, taunt, wind fury. It's a monster truck with lightning, missiles, and a drill, and it's going to magnetize to something else and make it an absolute monster. This is a cool card. This is what tier 7 should be. This is the example of something I like to get out of this. This is going to be a lot more fun than some of the ones we've seen. Sanguine Champion, 9 attack, 3 health, Battlecry, and Death Rattle. Your blood gems give an extra +1/+1 this game. That is huge. That is a permanent buff to them. Now it's tier 7, so it's going to come late. So who knows if it'll actually be good, but the stat line's not bad on it. The buffs are very good. I like this card, and if I was playing Quillbore, I would happily have this on my board. Next up, we have the return of an old friend, the Amalgadon, all types, 6 attack, 6 health, battle cry for each different minion type you control, randomly adept. And this is a note, this is a revision of a previous version of a card. So it just says adapt. I'm going to assume that can do everything, which means it's awesome and amazing and still probably a very good card because you can just evolve the whole damn thing and then stick magnetized stuff on it and buff the hell out of it and be a monster. Once again, tier 7, I think this is still going to be a very good card. It was very, very good for a long time in the game when it was tier 6. At 7, I think we'll have the same results. And folks, we have a lot of cards going to be leaving the pool. So let's go down the list because this is going to take a minute. We have Sparring Partner, Spawn of N'Zoth, Vigilant Stowborn, Quarji Harbinger, Tortolan Blue Shell, Champion of Yasarj, Lightfang Enforcer, Rat Pack, Eventide Brute, Pufferquill, Prophet of the Boar, Gem Splitter, Upbeat Flutist, Plague Tiewalker, Ring Matron, Terragosa, Sanctum Rester, Nadina the Red, Prize Promo Drake, General Dragosath, Molten Rock, Elemental, Upbeat Upstart, Magmalock, Crackling Cyclone, Smogger, Annoya Troop, Harvest Golem, still going, Mechajaraxis, Wargear, Greasebot, Ghoul of the Feast, Xylobones, Radio Star, Mini Myrmidon, Thorn Captain, Snail Cavalry, Thorncaller, Backstage Security, Briny Bootlegger, Anilian Battlemaster, Colossus of the Sun, Scavenging Hyena, Cyborg Drake, Manted Queen, Bone Mare, Bristlemane Scrapsmith, Mistake, and Tavern Tempest have left the game. That's 49 minions. Now, normally I will pop them up on the screen, but for the sake of saving me like an hour of editing that up, I'm gonna put a link to this in the message so you can go look at this list. I'm not gonna flash all these on the screen because it would take too long. But the list of 11 returning minions I will show you because it's only 11 and that won't take so damn long. The following 11 minions have returned to the minion pool. Reef Explorer, Treasure Seeker Elise, love it. Mithrax, love it. Bannerboar, Captain Flat Tusk, wow. Floating Watcher, Razorgore the Untamed, Hardy Elemental, Mechanotank, it's been a little while. Omega Buster is back, and Nightmare Amalgam are all back. A lot of changes there. Some of them we might hear again, but I will show these cards here at least for you so we can get into them. If you're enjoying these videos and you're getting something out of it, if they are helping you get your news so you don't have to go read everything, you can just hear it all here and have fun, please considering hitting like and follow, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff, because it helps the channel grow. It helps keep me motivated so I can keep making you content, and it helps just overall feeling better about just looking at it and seeing that, yes, people do like this. They're not just watching it blindly and then leaving. They actually care. If there's anything you'd like to see different, please give me ideas. I'll always take them into account. Doesn't mean I'll do them, but often some of the changes I come up with are ideas you have given me. Thank you for watching all. I really do appreciate it. Let's get back to the video. First up, we have some minion updates. These are minions being changed a little bit. This will affect some of the new minions I've announced, so bear with us a little bit. The Eternal Summoner has gone from an 8-1 to a 6-1. That is the only difference here, except notice that this picture of an 8-1 Eternal Summoner is incorrect, I'm assuming, because it says the new one is a 6-1. They just loaded the wrong image. Bad. Shame on you guys. Salt Skill Honcho used to be after you play a Murloc, give 2 other friendly Murlocs +1 health. Now it is after you play a Murloc, give 2 friendly Murlocs +1 health. The idea is now it can buff itself. I do like that change because that was an issue where you only had one in the one you played and one of the buffs was wasted and they don't matter that much. King Bagurgle got a buff. Used to be a 6 attack, 3 health Battlecry and Death Rattle, give your Murlocs +2/+2. Now it is a 6/4 Battlecry, give your Murlocs +2/+3. Good change for Bagurgle. Still a good card, just one you only cycle. Young Murkeye, trying once again to be made relevant, keeps trying, keeps failing. Used to be a 9 attack, 6 health. At the end of your turn, the minion to the left of this triggers its battle cry. Now is an 8/5. At the end of your turn, adjacent minions trigger their battle cries. So now it is the both left and right that will trigger, as opposed to just to the left from before. This is a return to the original form of Murkeye, I believe, and it's a good change. This card is hard to want to play, so I'm glad they updated it. Hardy Elemental. The old version of it was tier 2, 4 attack, 2 health. After you play an elemental, give another random friendly elemental +1/+1. Now it is a tier 3, 2 attack, 5 health. After you play an elemental, give an elemental other than it +1/+2, which is a little better. I don't know how much play it's still going to see, but that 2/5 body feels a little better, and that buff is significantly better, so we'll see. Good for when you're cycling. It just doesn't last on your board very long, typically. Wildfire Elemental got a change. Do not worry about it. It is simply a text change. It works exactly the same. Lava Lurker got a little reworking. I'm going to explain it all to you and just read you the dev comments as we go through it. But originally the first spellcast on each turn is permanent. Now it will be the first spellcraft enchantment on this turn is permanent. The dev comment is this change means the Lava Lurker's effect won't be consumed if it's targeted by a spellcraft spell that don't leave enchantments, like Seaborn Summoner or Sea Witch Zahira. Not a bad change. Looks like they're just getting ready to prevent problems it would cause in the future. Bannerboar used to be a 3/1, is now a 3/5. Same effect where it's giving blood gems on the side, although it is tier 4 now as opposed to tier 3. Care about it much when it was on tier 3. I don't know how much I'm going to care at tier 4, but it's early. The meta has probably changed a bit, so let's wait and see. Piloted Worldlatron Sneed's Buddy, just basically a wording change to prevent a bug, but used to be copy a friendly minion's death rattle, is now copy a different friendly minion's death rattle. This change was made to avoid a bugged interaction. With this change, Sneed has been returned to the hero pool, and Piloted Worldlatron has been returned to ETC's hero pool power. Just some shenanigans are now gone. It's a good change. Updated armor levels. A ton of them have changed. We're not going to go into the list because when I say a ton of them, I mean literally all of them have changed. And with there being over 90 of them, I'm not going to read them all, dang it. But the list is here. I will put the comments in the video's description so you could go take a look at that link and go see if these are relevant changes to you. They are, but there's so many of them, it's going to take a little while to unpack. The new Battlegrounds track is going to be out for Season 5. We'll have 40 levels of all the usual fun random rewards, from skins to emotes to one new bartender. If this is the thing you like, you definitely should invest in it, because having 4 heroes, I think in the new meta where you're going to be picking before the game starts, you're going to know what the anomaly is as soon as the game starts. So you want to pick a hero that's going to give you the most benefit with it. I really feel that having 4 hero choices will make it a lot easier on you. But once again, that's your money and time. Maybe you like the challenge of just 2 heroes. I don't know. There are a lot of things for twists, duels, all that stuff that if you are interested in, you definitely should jump into that. But there's one more thing I want to drop in for the Battlegrounds. There has been a slight change. The Battlegrounds tutorial has been made to better match modern Battlegrounds. So sadly, you can't go in it anymore and see pogo hoppers and other weird cards that don't exist anymore because they're gone, which were still in the tutorial. So you could learn how to play the game, then start playing the game and have no idea what any of these cards are, because none of the ones in the tutorial really were in the game anymore. So it was pretty entertaining, but they have now fixed it and revised it to a more current format. And that is it, folks. That is everything. There's a lot to unpack here. We're going to have a lot of stuff to go over in the coming weeks. Once it goes live next week, there's going to be a lot of big changes. Right now, we're all going to be theorizing, but we are going to see a ton of really cool effects. These anomalies are massive and change how we play the game. And I am super looking forward to this new format that is going to be, I think, better, because I really like that before you pick your hero, and as soon as you see the tribes in, you already know what the anomaly is. And that takes away some of the frustration of picking a hero who may not work with the quest you're offered, or buying some minions that don't end up working in the end because the quest on turn 4, well, didn't, you lucked out, you bought the wrong thing, sorry. Now you're going to know right at the beginning of the game. In some of the games, you're going to groan because you're going to see that anomaly and you're going to be like, oh. But other ones, you are going to be dancing. You're going to be ready to have fun. I'm excited. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Please tell me how you feel the new anomalies are, the new minion changes are. There are so many new minions. That alone would be the news without the new mechanics, just the minion changes. Are you excited? Let me know. Thanks for watching all. I hope you had a good time. I will catch you in the Battlegrounds. Until then, have a great day. Later.